live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Loved ones of the young Freeport man murdered over the weekend grieve over their loss. They tell us about the 22-year-old gone too soon.
An Illinois agency looks for feedback from the community. A public hearing focuses on improvements to 2 local roads.
And DeKalb business leaders throw a party for university students. Organizers say the event's a great way to connect with the next generation. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
The Illinois Department of Transportation is looking for public feedback on a few major road improvement projects. A virtual public meeting started at 4 to discuss planned improvements on more than 2 miles of Illinois Route 2 and 75 in South Beloit. Following a presentation, attendees could provide comments and ask questions to the project team. This meeting is part of Phase 1 in the construction project. IDOT's looking to evaluate known problems on the route, improve safety for motorists, and ensure traffic will flow smoothly in the future.
Rockford's sports scene expands with a brand new indoor center. Victory Pickleball opens to the public in just over a week. David Greenberg got an exclusive look inside the new Loves Park facility this morning. It offers 16 courts players can reserve ahead of time, an arcade center plus food and drinks. Victory's owner Tim Ancona says he looks forward to planning special nights for state line couples.
It's a great date night activity, right? So we'll do some type of Friday, Saturday night type things where maybe we'll have some couples leagues or a couple events, come out, play pickleball for a couple hours, go upstairs, have a drink and some food.
Victory's first tournament kicks off on the 22nd. You can find the details to register and to sign up to be a member in this story on mystateline.com. Over the weekend, a Freeport shooting claimed a 22-year-old man's life. One of the victim's friends calls the violence senseless.
Nikhil Delgado talked with his family today. And Nikhil, how are they handling this news?
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Family and friends I talked to are still in shock. They say the death is unexpected, unwanted, and definitely was unneeded.
All I know is I had called him and he said he was outside, and I had told him to come in and put a heat pad on his ribs, because he was hurt. And he said he was outside, he coming in.
Denise Davis didn't think that would be the last time she spoke to her son. 20 minutes later, she got the call.
Looking at the number, I answered the phone, they said Chino got shot.
Family members still in shock that 22-year-old DeChino Thurman is gone.
I lost Trail last year. I lost Tweet last year. I lost 3 young African males out of my family. Two of them was my nephew. One was my cousin. One was my nephew. Now I lost my son in a year span.
A smile that once brightened up any dark room now leaves behind a void.
He didn't deserve it. He wasn't a gang member. He wasn't any of that. He was a smart kid. He had goals. He had his own business. He was respectful.
He had a list of what he wanted to achieve. He Pops, I need you to do this. Pops, can we do this? He working on his shoes, trying to get his dog business up. I mean, everything that he could do to stay away from inside the IDOCs. And for this to end, for him to just up and get shot and killed for no reason.
Family described Chino as a positive, loving, goal-oriented person with a passion for the youth in the Freeport community.
He was a crutch in this community. Just the other day when we were over there, he got 2 little boys, they wanted some shoes. He was like, well, you could come work for him, had them in the house. You're going to come clean this stuff, He made sure anybody in this community.
He got a lot of things he was doing while he was in school that he took into his adult life. He did welding and all of that. My brother is very intelligent. His mind is strictly on the money. If he got a goal, he's set on it, he gonna make it happen.
Family and friends say they'll continue to honor Chino's legacy.
It ripped the part out of the town, man. Everybody who knew him, I feel like now that he gone, that part gone with you. You know what I mean? But you just got to keep going for him and let him live through us.
DeChino's friends and family say they want justice. They're asking the person who is responsible for his death to come forward. If you have any information, please contact Freeport Police or leave an anonymous tip through State Line Area Crime Stoppers. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nikhil. DeKalb business leaders welcome college students back to school. Over 50 businesses and nonprofit organizations held a block party at Northern Illinois University. Students, staff, and faculty were all invited to join in the fun. Visitors got to learn about local resources, get coupons and samples, and participate in fun activities. One local business owner says events like this are a great way to network.
They're the next generation. They're generally your target audience, and you really want to be able to connect with them on a personal level instead of just a business name. So you want to be able to have people recognize you as the person, as the owner, as the artist, the designer, the creator. And it's just a lot of fun to be able to connect personally to a lot of people.
The community block party was free to the entire NIU campus. And there's blues and barbecue going on right now in Rockton. The Rockton Police Association's annual fundraiser is usually on a weekend, but they moved it to a Wednesday night this year. The festival is in Settlers Park along with food and live music. There's also a canine demonstration, React helicopters on display, as well as emergency and military vehicles. The festival runs until 8 p.m. An Alabama senator is blocking promotions in the military.
Up next, pressure from his colleagues to end the obstruction climbs.
And coming up at 6, two state line organizations partner together to support those in need. The pop-up market this weekend dedicated to giving families fresh food.
We do have some storms that are producing gusty winds and lightning, focal point up near the state line and in Rock County. We'll talk about if these are going to hold together coming up in a little bit.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
The chiefs of the Navy, Army, and Marine Corps are all serving in a temporary capacity. That's because one U.S. senator is blocking military promotions.
Washington correspondent Alexander Limon reports that pressure is mounting for the Alabama senator to end his blockade.
Democrats are blasting Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville for blocking military promotions.
He has achieved what America's enemies could only dream of: instability in the ranks of our military leadership.
And it isn't just Senator Jack Reed that's critical. The secretaries of the Air Force, Army, and Navy published an op-ed this week calling Tuberville's holds dangerous and blaming him for eroding the foundation of the military.
So far, Senator Tuberville has blocked more than 300 military promotions in the past 6 months, and Senator Reed says that number will more than double by the end of the year.
Nearly 90% of our general and flag officers, our most senior military leaders, will be affected by the senator from Alabama's hold.
This is my prerogative. I'm using the rules of the Senate to make a point, but also to stop them from legislating from the White House.
Tuberville is blocking the promotions because he opposes a military policy that pays for service members' travel expenses for abortions.
All they got to do is change it back the way it was, and let's vote on it.
Reed says a Senate committee already rejected legislation to repeal the policy Tuberville opposes.
To deny these officers their hard-won, merit-based promotions for his own political gain is simply disgraceful.
But Tuberville remains defiant.
I'm not changing my mind.
In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
One of the newest Medal of Honor recipients gets emotional as he's inducted into the Pentagon's Hall of Heroes.
Retired Army Captain Larry Taylor gave an emotional speech. Taylor, a Tennessee native, was a Vietnam War pilot. In 1968, he ignored a direct order and flew his Cobra helicopter into a firefight to rescue 4 U.S. troops. The men likely would have died. Senior officers ordered Taylor to return to base. He refused when he learned there was no other rescue helicopter being sent. The Army says a Cobra had never been used for a mission like that. Yesterday, we showed you when Taylor received the Medal of Honor. People who attended gave the 81-year-old several standing ovations as he choked out his appreciation at the Hall of Heroes induction.
But thank you all for coming. I appreciate that. This is the greatest day ever. The best ever. So, I thank you, and I just want to salute you for coming.
Only around 3,500 U.S. military personnel have received the Medal of Honor out of the 40 million who have served since the Civil War. Our temperature never made it out of the 70s today.
Well, up next, we'll hear from Savannah about how cool it will be the rest of the week.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Savannah Brito.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Temperatures still rising in a few areas despite them actually falling into the upper 60s in Rockford. We're now back up to 72, 69 in Rochelle, 67 in DeKalb, and 73 in Freeport. We did make it up to 75, the mid-70s across the majority of the area. Definitely cooler than the last couple of days when we were even in the 90s for Labor Day, and then on Sunday, the day prior to that. Did see some lightning out of our SkyTrack camera over Beloit. You can see it is raining out there. If you look closely, little drops. That's pretty much the only place right now, Rock County and up in southern Wisconsin, that we're tracking rain at this point in time. All of these kind of forming south of an outflow boundary, which I'll show in a minute, but you can see one stronger storm still producing some lightning, also some gusty winds. It is breaking up and falling apart a little bit more than what we saw a couple hours ago. You can see this futurecast taking you out a couple hours ago. That did hold strong form, and then as it got closer to the state line, fizzled out a little bit. But that is associated with the outflow boundary that is located up near Madison, the low pressure system up near Green Bay or just south of Green Bay. And then we did see a cold front move through the area. That is going to drop our temperatures for afternoon highs the next couple of days. So that's really going to be the focal point and the change in direction that's going to be associated with Thursday and Friday cooler weather. But we will see a little bit of warmer air move back in as we get closer to the weekend. Then temperatures fall once again. So kind of a roller coaster as far as temperatures go. Also going to see some showers isolated at best. It's not going to be a soaking or widespread rain, which we need. A couple of downpours are possible though, just with those heavier pockets and showers on the futurecast as we go through the next couple of hours. We dry out though for Thursday. That's going to be the main thing. As we clear out though Friday night into Saturday, you can see that on the futurecast might lead to a stray shower Friday. I think most of us are going to stay dry. The focal point going to be east off towards the city of Chicago and then Lake Michigan at that point in time. But we're really going to see skies clear up and temperatures are going to drop. We did switch and actually transition back out of a northwesterly pattern. That's bringing in the cooler air with that low pressure system again that's located up near Green Bay, and the cold front separating all this fall-like weather, at least for northern portions of the Great Plains. That will be the case for us the next couple of days between the hot and humid air that's still along the east coast, northeast, and then also the deep south. They're dealing with hot temperatures. We are going to see the temperature pattern that is cooler stick around for some time though, I do think. So as we get into the next couple of days and really the long-term forecast as we get into September, that's when temperatures are really going to change out there, and we're even going to see that reflect on the 7-day forecast. 80s do make a return though by the time we're heading into the weekend, but after that, as a result, I think temperatures are going to fall. So by the time we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we go from the 80s on Saturday and Sunday, or at least near 80. I do think some areas will probably hold strong only in the upper 70s both Saturday and Sunday for this upcoming weekend. But Eric, Mimi, as a result of that cold front after the secondary one, that'll drop our temperatures next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
That will take some getting used to.
Reagan's in next with sports.
Cubs keep the race for a division title competitive. Reagan lets us know where things stand after the break.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are going to sweep today? Is that how it goes? Yeah, well no, but that's exactly what happened in Game 3 with the Giants. Let's see how they did it. Jordan Wicks made his first career start at Wrigley in this series finale today. He got some run support right off the bat. Seiya Suzuki clearing the bases with a 3-run double in the first. Cubs with a nice little cushion. Wicks only had one strikeout, but his defense kept San Francisco off the board. That's one heck of a save right there to get the runner at home. Wicks looking like a seasoned vet, didn't allow a run until the 7th. And Cody Bellinger got it right back for him. He drops another belly bomb into the right field bleachers. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. That's number 24 on the year for 24. And the Cubs win 8-2 for a giant sweep. The Brewers lost to the Pirates, so that leaves the Cubs just a game and a half back in the division. But these guys seem to have their eyes on a different prize right now.
I think they're excited about the fantasy football draft tonight. If I'm being honest, sweeps are nice. Look, we've got a chance to kind of put teams in our rear view if we can, right? And when you do that against a really good team, this Chase U, it's a good feeling. Our schedule's been tough, I'd say. Like, these guys have really been focused hard. But yeah, I mean, winning's fun, right? We know that.
But guess who's not having fun? The White Sox. They are looking to end their 5-game skid and avoid a second straight sweep tonight. Can they do it? Well, the jury is still out on that one. They'll get a shot at 6:40 in their finale with the Royals. And this just in from Aquin Schools. Their co-op with Orangeville for high school boys basketball and baseball has been approved by the NUIC for this year. That will start this upcoming season, following through next year as well. The two schools will also be co-oping in 8-man football starting next season. And the latest high school football rankings were released today following week 2 action. In 1A, Lena Winslow still leads the race at number 1, followed by the Forreston Cardinals at number 2 and Fulton at 7. The Byron Tigers are back in first place in 3A, and the Rivermen have burst into the rankings, sitting in 9th. Then for our bigger schools, Boylan is holding steady in 5th in 4A after a 2-0 start to the season. Sycamore staying in 3rd in 5A, and Belvedere North has finally broken through the top 10. They are in 10th in Class 6A. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, we could really use some rain out there. It is so dry.
I know, it's been so dry, and unfortunately that pattern continuing. Maybe a few spotty showers to isolated today, and then we have to wait for next week, possibly as early as Sunday night, for some showers. So overall, a dry pattern is going to continue.
Deficit's just going to keep climbing.
Yes, it is. And temperatures, we're going to see them cool down the next couple of days, guys. That's as a result of a cold front. On the interactive radar on mystateline.com, you can see all the showers. Focal points more to our east, as you can see. That's all ahead of that cold front that I mentioned that's dropping our temperatures the next couple of days. Already out there, we did see them fall, but locally across the state line, actually seeing them gain a few degrees out there. We're up to 72 right now. Our high tomorrow, 72 though. Cooler than the 75 we saw today, 57 heading into Friday morning. Also notice the next several nighttime temperatures, several days also going to be cooler, a little warmer for the weekend though, guys.
All right, thanks, Savannah.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.